What's up, guys? Welcome to Office Hours with Artificial Intelligence. My name is Caleb Ogden. I am your host here with my large language model, Gamma Delta Theta. And on this show, I'm going to do a short series on how I've been using AI in my work, on ideation, on writing, but especially on coding. And so my background is in product design and software engineering. I spent over a decade and longer than that, actually, coding and building products in startups and for big tech companies that impacted hundreds of millions of people around the world. And so I know a thing or two about product design and development and how to get ideas from inside your head to out in the real world. And so that is the purpose of this show is how does anyone, even if you don't have a strong background in coding, how does anyone leverage AI to be able to do more with less? Which is kind of the theme, I think, of what AI is enabling in this world, is it lets you do more with less. So this is, I've named my LLM Gamma Delta Theta. And I have it, just to throw this out there, I have a few other things I'm trying to do on YouTube. My YouTube journey started about a year and a half ago, and I haven't made a ton of traction, but I've been trying to find more ways to share some of the things that I've found and make that interesting and useful to people. Just to throw it out there, I have a few shows on this channel. You can find Inside Traders, where I share some of like the secrets that I found in using margin for trading and investing and options, and kind of like the whole world of finance that I'm learning and exploring, a lot of which is backed by tooling, which I have built with AI. So this show is kind of the other half of that show, where that show is like, here's the actual details of what I think about like the markets and how I'm like trading or whatever. And this is the tooling that I'm trying to build to help me make better informed investments, stay on top of things, and mostly just manage risk, because a lot of the things I'm into are high risk and they need a lot of management. And so they need a lot of tooling. And I've been building that tooling with AI, so we're gonna kind of show how that's done on this show. But AI is like much more powerful than just coding. You can use it for writing, for ideation. Really, just treat it as if it was an agent that lived in some foreign land. You know, it's somebody from China who is smarter than you, wants to help you, but they're not on site. So you can ask them questions, you can work through problems, but they can't pick up your groceries yet. That's coming. So, like I said, the goal with this is just to kind of like show my process, my work. It's just kind of like thinking out loud, working in the open, and showing you how I do my working sessions with AI. Usually a couple of times a week, I will have these kind of working sessions where I'll spend about an hour or so, sometimes more or less, ideating on things that I want to build, doing some like kind of high level design, or most often just getting into the actual details. And what's so cool about writing or coding with AI is it just knows infinitely more than you ever could. Like, you're not gonna know every library, technique, pattern, design, architecture out there. AI knows it, and it can help you discover better patterns of thinking, writing, coding, because it's learned from the best of the best, sir. So let's get into it, and try to have a little fun as we build with AI. So hey GDT, Gamma Delta Theta, let's do a live stream series where we show people how we work together. Let's see what he says. Let's get this screen down, that one there. That's a fantastic idea. Options trade. Okay, so he's kind of geared to be helping me with options right now. But yeah, we're going to be working in TypeScript. So we have a very simple goal today. We just want to have a dashboard always available, always running 24/7. Whenever my computer server is up, I want to be able to pull up a website that's not accessible to the internet. It just has to be local. And then I'm going to display dashboard information on that for my investing portfolio. I should call it my trading portfolio. One of the biggest things I need real-time attribution on price changes. So if the overall value of my portfolio dramatically changes up or down, I need to be able to attribute those changes in real time to a specific position, be it stock, be it options, whatever, and a lot more other things too. And so I have a few ideas on how to build that, but to begin, I just want to be able to pull up a website without having to go and start it and have it always be on. So what do you think we should be the first topic? Like, let's build a dashboard that is always running on localhost. And programming localhost is just like your local computer. So it's like your local network. People on the internet won't be able to access anything on your localhost. So let's build a dashboard that is always running on localhost using, I know the technology I want to use, Next.js and Firebase. We don't even have to start with that. And some kind of service manager that will ensure the dashboard is always running even after the computer restarts. See what he says. So this is live, right? I don't know what he's going to say. I don't know what he's going to do. I've done stuff like this, but I haven't prepared anything. Like this is a working session. So we're going to work through not only how to think about these things, but how to actually bring them to life. And I think that's what I want to impress on people the most, is that through AI, our ability to express what's in our head and make it real is greater than ever before. Like, how many people in time and history would have died to have this type of chance, this type of access, this type of tooling to support their work? So we want to use PM2, which I think I might already have. VS Code. Like, let's just ask AI one thing real quick. Let's do new chat. Boom. Hey GDT, while I'm in a live stream, can I automatically switch scenes in OBS by which tab I'm focused on? Because that'd be cool if I could not have to like hit the button to go to the code scene. It is possible. Okay, so that's something we could script it. But we'll have to do that another time. And so that's a good idea of a project though. So let's go back to GDT and see what he's saying. So we told him that we wanted just a really simple dashboard that was always running on a computer. I like using Next.js because I'm familiar with it. It's, I believe, using React.js. And if you don't know any of these words, you just ask AI. And so tell it what you want at whatever level you understand, and then tell it to ask you clarifying questions. And so let's just do an example of that. This should give you a resilient dashboard that will always on even after the computer starts. See, I love that. I love that he's asking me what I think. Okay, that's kind of cool. Front end, Next.js. So the purpose of this dashboard is to display real-time quotes, trades, order flow, and order flow during market hours. What else might we consider before we begin? And then this is kind of like how I use AI to ideate, is before I actually get into the details of coding, I'm going to just explore and see, hey, maybe there's a better way than Next.js. Maybe there's like a better pattern out there that people have found for anything, like making a marketing brochure, like doing SEO on a website. I don't know, probably diagnostics in medicine or legal advice in law, if that's a thing. Like whatever your domain is, give it your most basic question as far as you understand it, and then get it to interview you to elaborate and draw out more. And in that ideation, you'll build some structure around your ideas, and you'll probably learn new things just through the back and forth dialogue, talking to AI. And so, in my opinion, like in the future, everyone will spend hours a day. In my opinion, in the future, people will spend more time speaking with machines than each other. That's kind of a scary world. But it's going to lead to some amazing outcomes, because through these dialogues of the machines, especially when they're inside of our ear 24/7, and it's like soldered into your brain, and like for real, like there's going to be like a little contact type thing. It's going to be a filament, and you're just going to like kind of place it inside your ear, and then you're going to be able to have real-time conversations with AI, and kind of like seashells in what was it, Fahrenheit 451, Ray Bradbury, where like there's going to be a downside to it, which is you're always going to be distracted with your seashells. So that's some political and opinions, some politics and opinions for you guys. So let's see. Great. Real-time dashboard, focus on quotes and order flow can be immensely valuable. You're telling me. Quotes and trade. Are we using a specific API? Yes, we will be. We want to design our own API to act as an intermediary or like between other APIs. So we won't call get quote on stock directly. We'll use an adaptation layer that can easily swap between APIs for redundancy, cost, and efficiency. So like if one API is down, we need to be able to get a quote from the other API, that kind of thing. And we're going to do that with an abstraction layer. So that was one question he had. Order flow. Again, what's the source of the data? Currently, the only... there will be two sides of order flow, internal and external. Internal will come from trades created by my client, which will be posted to a WebSocket and rebroadcasted to widgets who might care. And the other will come from Polygon and will will bucket the incoming trade data into a few time periods: 1 minute, 5 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, and that's good enough. So that's that question. Like I said, this is a working session, so GDT and I are thinking through what are all of the requirements, and then we'll start attacking the actual code. Update frequency polling. I already have a service that does that, and throttling, I have all that. I have all the API keys, user experience, interactivity. So one thing to think about, caching, concurrency. On the UI/UX side, we can just use whatever front-end framework is currently has the best adoption, but we do need multiple domains. like order flow, trades, profit and loss, positions, and explorers, like screeners. So there's that. Deployment resilience. Make sure that the service recovers from crashing. Yes, the service must regarding resilience. Yes, the service must be always on and recover from its own crash. Persistence, we didn't talk about, did we? And data encryption, API keys, data polling, doesn't look like it. On the persistence side, let's plan on using Firebase for durable data. For quick caches, we can just write to a JSON file on disk. All right, let's see what he says. My guy's a he. You can have your LLM be whatever you want it to be. Oh, thanks. An adaptation layer is excellent. Whatever. Abstraction, implementation, switching. Yes. Order flow. Yes. UI, UX. Yes. Domains. We can create separate sections. Yes. Resilience and persistence. Boom. Okay, so let's move forward. Do we get the dashboard online and recovering from crashes, starting on restarts, etc. So now we'll get into the actual code here for this session. So let's focus on getting the dashboard online with resilience and auto recovery features. So install PM2. I think I already have it, but let's see. Boom, boom. PM2. Yes, I do have it. So then, YAML. Why do I gotta use YAML? Create a PM2 configuration, process, or ecosystem. This will hold the, can you give me, I'll just say I don't wanna use YAML. I don't wanna use YAML. I kind of know what it is. It's just like this really simple like scripting language or whatever, but I don't know it too well. Start with the app, PM start, process YAML, auto restart. Yes, cool. PM2 startup. I wonder if I already have something. PM2 list maybe? Okay, so I do have something. Let's see. TS node stopped. PM2 delete maybe? Let's say stream deck. This process is not PM2 delete. I'm just going to get rid of previous services that have done similar things that I'm not using for this. PM2 delete TS node. PM2 save. PM2 is not managed in process. Force. Okay, so PM2 list. Okay, so we have a clean process manager. So I told him I didn't want to use copy, and this is one of my favorite things. For the ecosystem, can you give me that as a terminal command to create and fill the file? I'll just always ask for stuff in terminal commands like this, and then I can just copy and paste. I don't even like have to do anything. Auto restart true. This. How does that sound? Ready to move on? And then yeah, I'll just like tell it whatever. Okay, so let's go to the root of this. Well, let's ask, should the so this is like what I'm talking about is like AI is this Let me get to the GDT screen. It's a real person that you can just like ideate with, and anytime you get blocked, you can get unblocked with AI. One of the hardest things with software engineering in particular is when you get blocked on something really dumb like authentication. Like you can't just like connect to the server. All right, we got to heat it up in here. I'm starting to get hot. One sec. That's how you know you're cranking on code. You start to get all hot and sweaty. So, what was I saying? Like, oh yeah, you can ideate on all these things, and so my question here is like, do I want this PM2 service file to be in the root of my project, or do I want it to be in the root of my dashboard source folder? Which is something you wouldn't know to ask unless you had years of experience. And so I'm not saying this stuff is so easy, but hopefully if you have zero experience, all you have to do is just be like, have it explain to you whatever you don't understand. Let's just do it with YAML. Okay, so I'll just be like, software engineers out there can freaking judge me for this, but like, what the fuck is YAML and why do people love it so much? I don't even know what it is. It's like a scripting language. Like, what is it? Like engineers out there are like, this guy, he's presenting what? Like, look, we all have knowledge gaps in this world. Nobody has a complete knowledge, and we shouldn't have to have a complete knowledge. We should rely on technology for that. He's talking a little bit too fast for GPT-4, but we are on GPT-4, so I guess it's okay. YAML, yet another markup language. Is that really? Okay, that kind of makes me like it. Or YAML ain't markup language. Okay, I kind of do like Markdown. So readability, simplicity, versatility. So yeah, it's basically like cleaner than JSON because you don't need all these other things. So maybe let's go outside of our comfort zone a little bit and use YAML. Okay, fine. I never use it, but let's give it a shot. Looks like it's just cleaner JSON. Can you give me the PM2 command for YAML this time? Like seriously, if you were working with a human and you just change your mind like that and you were like, hey, that work you just did, now redo it in a different way, they'd be so annoyed. I'd be so annoyed. AI is like, oh, great idea, let's do that. Also, does this file belong in the project root or in the directory where the next app lives? Current structure is source slash external source slash app next APIs. What else do we have in our source? On common domains, external services, slash domains, source slash services, and source slash common. See what he says. So yeah, so it looks like YAML is just like a data structure that is super human readable, and people probably like it because you don't have to have all these kind of like symbols in it. They just use what, line breaks and spaces to split, looks like. Yeah. So YAML is considered a cleaner version of JSON. So let's see if that works. In the configuration, I've included, so does it belong in source app? A CWD to specify should run in your source app, which is where your Next.js. Okay, so it does belong there. Good thing we asked. Like what's CWD again? I think that's like setting the directory or something. Permission. What is it? Current working directory. Oh, cool. So you can set that virtually. See, this is what I'm talking about. You can like learn this stuff. So let's try to create some of this in the code. So in the actual editor, we will say make dir source app, and then do we have it? Yes. And then we'll copy and paste this into like cd app, cd source app, and copy and paste this echo apps process.yaml. And then let's see if we actually got that file. Looks like we did. Cool. Let's bring this over here. npm run dashboard app. Let's just call this trader source app production. I'm going to leave that space because I don't know if we need it. In this configuration, we've done all this and blah, 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 blah. And then, so let's go back and be like, okay, so I got the YAML file. Okay, I created the YAML file config for PM2, but I still don't have Next.js. Could we get that running first before we get the process manager side of things working? Let's see. Absolutely. So we want to install Next.js. So we're going to go to source app. I believe I already have all this in there. Let's go and give it a shot. npx create next app. See what it does. Maybe I had a space there. Or maybe it's just loading, thinking what it wants to do. No, is it not working? npx or mpx. Okay, so we do have that. npx create next app here. Oh wait. Oh. I'm like not even in the directory. Am I? I want like a new terminal. I don't trust this terminal. Give me a yeah, there we go. Source app npm or mpx create next app here. Go. And we'll just let this run for a second. Maybe it's doing a network call. Let's ask GDT. So, boom. Like, looks like it's running, but nothing happens. Let's see. npx create app in your source doesn't produce any output. Oh, you want to know what? I might have a, yeah, this is what I'm thinking. I might have a previous, I think I had a previous next app installed in that directory. This is the kind of stuff you only learn by doing this stuff a lot. Like, is like, yeah, if you had something there before, like you saw with those PM2 processes, you got to go clean that stuff up before you build on top of it. That might be what's happening. I don't know. Like, we're live debugging here, right? So I think I had a previous next app that cause issues. Is there a cleanup for that I should run? Yeah, I'll try that. Clean. Clear the npm cache, which can sometimes, oh wait, I think it was just doing a network call. Yeah, dude, go do it. Why are you freaking waiting? Enter, try using a new directory or remove the files listed above. Would you like to use TypeScript? Yes. Would you like to use ESLint? Yes. I don't know. What's Tailwind? Let's see. What's Tailwind CSS? Probably just like a CS, something to make it easier to use like variables or whatever in CSS. Rapidly building custom user interfaces. Speed, customization, reduce CSS, responsiveness. I'm in. Good enough. If GDT says so, it's good enough for me. No. The source directory. Actually, I think that was yes. Let's ask GDT. What should I say? I don't know. When setting up a next project in the source directory, it pertains to whether you want to choosing yes, look like source pages. Then your components would resolve to the root. Well, I already have a source directory that's used to hold a bunch of code related to other parts of the app, of the platform. This app is just a web page. It should live under source/app. In that case, should we consider source/app/source? That seems dumb. Or is there a cleaner way/best practice? You already got nesting another source inside source. Yeah, right. Place the next specific code under source app without, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Okay, so let's do that, which is what I think we already did. I said no to using source, so we're actually still on track with this config. Would you like to use an app router? I believe so, yeah. Would you like to customize the default import alias? What's this about? I believe that's like, do you want to use like require common modules, whatever. I hate module like dependency injection. It's the worst. It's the worst. These never work for me. These components, like I've tried so many times to set these up. Let me get to the screen. I've tried so many times to set these up. They never work. I always have to use these relative. I'm sure I can debug it at some point, like figure out why, but I think it's like some insane interdependency between TypeScript and NPM and like your local version of Node, and you have to like get all three of those and maybe something else like TS Node or whatever. You have to get all four of those configs perfectly aligned in order to use those that dependency injection or like these components, because it is so much cleaner. Like I hate these relative paths, so it's impossible to read or maintain, but I haven't been able to get it working. So no, I don't want to use that default alias, but I'm glad I asked. Okay, so looks like that's everything NPM wanted to see, and now it's installing. And let's see what it gives us. Boom. Still installing. So while this is installing, let's think through what we actually want. Well, we just want to start by getting this dashboard online so we can see a web page. Okay, next is installed. What do we do now? Let's go back to GDT and look at what he told us to do. So he's somewhere between a god and a slave. This AI is like smarter than me, but I can boss him around. Okay, cleanup. We don't need to do that. We figured it out. Here it is, npm run build, npm run start. But it's not, okay, next dev, next build. So let's say next in here, dev. See if it gives it next dev, not found. What? Next? Not found. Let's go. So it's not finding next. Well, we'll ask GDD. And because we never get blocked. Sometimes I do get blocked where like he can't figure it out, I can't figure it out, and that sucks, but it's pretty rare. I used to get blocked all the time in coding. Now I get unblocked like 90% of the time. So like, okay, I tried to run next dev and it said next wasn't installed. And from source/app. npm install next React DOM because isn't installed in the directory from where you're running, which you're trying to, boom. So you need to install next from the source. Like, can I just install it globally? Globally, my package.json lives. Let's see if we can just, next should already, yeah, like, right? If you see this error despite having run, double check your package JSON in source app. Okay, so there's, which would allow you to run, however, this isn't recommended. Okay. Okay. For example, so let's see what our package JSON has and see if that, oh, I see. I see. So we have two package JSONs. So let's try this. npm run dev. Weird. Why would that work? That doesn't make any sense. Next dev. That doesn't find it. But why would the npm path find it? Well, I'm not gonna look at gift horse in the mouth. Let's just see if it works. So all I did was look at my package JSON that was installed, which you could see here in the root of the next step we just created, and I can run it from there, but I can't just type in, right? Where am I? Right there. So why can't I just say next dev? Maybe I could in a new terminal window. Let's create a new one. Actually, I don't want to, whoops. cd app next dev. Well, let's try if we go completely outside of that. I'm just gonna, you can't see this, I'm gonna do it in another terminal window. Dev creator, cd source app, and next run or dev. Okay, well, I'll have to figure that out another time. I'm not sure why I can run it this way, but npm run dev does seem to start the localhost. Let's see if it's actually running. So we'll copy this. You can just actually click it and go to, boom, it's there. And so now in the code, we should be able to start doing stuff. Let's go and public app page.js. Is this the actual source? Yeah. So let's just get rid of all this bushes and just say, welcome trader. Welcome to inside trader build. Okay. So that, hey, look, it already hot reloads. See, this is why I love building on other people's technology. I don't have to figure out how to write that hot reloader. It just works. I just get to use it. And so, boom. All right, so now we're getting somewhere. We have a server running on localhost that we can customize, and it'll hot reload. Let's get this running and doing crash recovery and all that stuff. So, okay, I got the server running on local host. First of all, how do I change the port to go from, what were we on, 3,000? Let's just say 6,000. 3,000 to 6,000. And I want to do this because 3,000 is commonly used and I want this always running 24/7. And so I don't want there to be conflicts with other services that might try to launch on 3,000. If we were being tools, we would say something like 6,900, but we don't have to be tools. Today, we'll save it for another day. So, how do I change the port? And can you give me the YAML file constructor line for terminal again? And then, so the next step is, since we want this always running and crash rebootable, then we're going to use this PM2 service monitor to check if it's alive, if not, to automatically restart it. Changing the port, scripts, dev. All right, that's pretty easy. Or in the YAML, to manage your next app with PM2. Boom. Yes, that's what we need. And so let's stop this service and create the YAML file. We'll get it running on 6,000. And then we'll also update the package run dev. What did he say it was? This one? 6,000. So we'll just copy and paste. And we always copy and paste so we don't have typos, even if it's just one line or a couple of characters. So boom, that should be that, and then that should be that, and we have our YAML file. Should be right somewhere, right? ls YAML. Did not create it. Where? Vim next. Okay, so it is there. Where? Why don't I see it here? Oh, here it is. Run dev next app. Let's call this trader npm. Okay, so what does this actually do? This will create a Next.js file with configurations for process manager to run, specifying the npm run dev should be executed as the source app port set to 6,000. Cool. So then we can say, and I guess we can use this file to kickstart the process manager. So back to code, we say pm2 start next we want next js app.yaml. Okay, current process is not synchronized, but it says it's online. So now we should be able to go to localhost 6,000 and see if that works for us. Doesn't pull up. Let's see, status online, run source dev, npm run dev. All right, GDT. Okay, I started it, but there's nothing running on localhost on 3,000 or 6,000. So just tell it what the problem is. If you don't know, don't think too hard, right? Don't like bang your head against the wall trying to figure it out. Just ask the machine that knows everything and it'll figure it out for you. PM2 status, npm port. Ugh, this is a lot. Like, why is that so crazy? Process is not saved. Let's just say PM2 save. Okay, PM2 list. So we do have it there. Trader disabled. Like, let's just copy and paste this in. Get that in like that. Actually get it? Nice. Show trader is listed as online, but also the PID, process, and memory usage. Okay, PM2 logs trader. So maybe this will give us something. Give us a clue as to what's happening. Oh, nice. And it did. So then missing script dev, but it's not missing. Well, let me try running dev locally. npm run dev. Yeah, so that works. Let's see. The logs gave me this. The npm logs is unable to find dev. Yeah, right. Oh, maybe we have to ensure the CWD field is in your next YAML file points to the current directory. So let's look at that. CWD is source app. Oh, I think it should be like this, right? The CWD is pointed to source app and run from source app. Should the CWD just be the current directory, and which may be. Come on. It could be the issue. Okay, so let's see if we can change it to this and see if that fixes it. So we'll say PM2, not now, PM2 list, PM2 remove trader, PM2 delete trader, PM2 save, PM2 save force. Okay, PM2 list. Okay, so we have a clean process manager. So now we'll say PM2 start Next.js YAML file. And then did that work? Oh, 6,000. No, did not work. Let's try doing this. Like stop trader, maybe I say. Okay, so then let's try this again. Boom, still not working. So let's see, given that you are already running from, can you verify where your Next.js package JSON? It's the Next.js package.json is located in source/app. And your YAML is correct. Okay, so it was correct. Manually navigate to source app, npm run dev, and it doesn't, you'll know there's an issue outside of PM2. It does start correctly, but let's just verify one more time. So we'll go and put that back to source app and say npm run dev. No. Oh, wait, what? Interesting, interesting. So the address is already in use. Like, but that doesn't make any sense because I can't pull it up right now. So let's say npm run dev. Let's see if this is actually the problem. Reload. Oh, so you can reload. Nice. So first, find and kill the processes that are on 6,000. Ooh, kind of cool. Let's see what this does. Nope. Oh, that's supposed to just list it, maybe. Okay, that was just giving me the PID. So that PID is where, right here. And then I say kill 9 PID. No. 60,000. TCP 6,000. So we have this PID. Let's see. Give this to GDT and see what it says. Yeah, it should be kill 9. But it didn't kill it. It didn't kill it. See what he says. You might need to resort to some forceful measures. Super kill? Super user kill. Okay, let's do it. Let's sudo this guy. We're going to sudo kill it. This is like how you nuke yourself. Let's see. What the fuck? What is this? So no such process. I'm looking at it right there, bro. 40. Okay, so there's a new process. Oh, wait, maybe it's the service manager always recreating a new one because the PID is changing. PM2 list. Oh, I wonder if the service manager is always creating new ones. Let's go back. PM2 remove creator or delete, I think is the keyword. Okay. PM2 then let's go see these processes. Okay, so there isn't anything. So it was. Okay, so PM2 is kind of working. It's relaunching that localhost server every time we remove it, which is what we want, but why can't we access it is the question. So now if we say npm run dev from our next source file, we'll get a server on 6,000 and we'll pull it up and it's not pulling anything up. Interesting. So it was working, but now it is not. Let's see if we just undo this stuff. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. Okay. So npm run dev. All right, back to GDT we go. This is what it is like coding. Like most of it is just like trying to get unblocked. Okay, so the PM2 service was recreating it every time. I was able to launch from npm run dev, but I can't access the website on localhost still. Let's just double confirm that. 6,000. I cannot access. Okay. See what he says. Oh, typo. So the PM2 service is a good catch. Boom. No, it's not any of the things you're saying. Yeah, we want to see the logs actually again. So let's go back here and look at the logs. Interesting. Direct IP. So we'll say npm run dev. No, it's not doing it. Let's say package JSON. And let's remove the 6,000 for now because that could be causing something. 3,000. Oh, that'd be funny if it works. Okay, so it works on 3,000 and not 6,000. Interesting. Why would that be? So if we go 3,000, so it does work on 3,000. So let's just take that as a constraint for now, and we can circle back and worry about moving it to 6,000 later. let's just see if we can get this in the process manager now running. So YAML file, and we will look at the thing here, port 3000, npm run dev YAML. Okay, so now we can say pm2, this should be down, yes. pm2 list, pm2, what was it? pm2, let's see, oh, start. Next.js YAML. So then it is not started, and so we want to look at the logs. So it started, but for whatever reason, YAML config is wrong, I feel. How do I grep this? Like history, is it grep? Can't remember. Well, let's ask GDT. How do I grep the history for a keyword? The PM2 service isn't like running. Service status says online, but I can't pull up the website. I can if I run npm dev directly. So we want the logs. It's the pipe. History, pipe, grep, PM2. And it didn't have the command, that's funny. I'm looking for PM2 logs trader. That looks pretty good. Oh, it's running on 6,000. Well, how did that happen? And what? How did that happen? It must be like a cache layer or something. That's so funny. Like 6,000. Well, where is the... This is like why you don't want to mess with things and make them too complicated to begin, because like it's best to just use the base version. So environmental variable CWD npm run dev. So we'll say npm run dev, and this goes to localhost, and that does work, as you can see here. So we are getting, it is working, but it's not working through, like, how do I say reload? PM2 reload Next.js app YAML. Okay. Then logs. And then PM2 stop trader. Okay. So look at the logs. Say start. Oops. Where'd I go? Start trader. Okay. And it's still starting on 6,000. What the fuck? Like, let's see. Come on. GDT. So it's, I want it, the service on 3,000 now, but it's always starting on 6,000. Why? There's probably a cache that we have to clean. Package, next P, it doesn't anymore, that's for sure. Package JSON, npm run dev. We already, oh, is it restart? If you checked all these, command line. Arguments usually override, so make sure not unwittingly. What did you say? Unwittingly. Well, here's package JSON. Here is package JSON. Here is YAML. Here is YAML. See what he says. Package JSON. So, reload trader.yaml. This way, PM2 sets support variable to 3000 and next picks up the. No, that's not doing it. I already tried that. So npm dev works, but npm, is there like a cache to clear? Let's call this, let's go back and just do something totally new. Let's call this trader2. We'll rename this app to trader.yaml, and we'll go to our package JSON and call it trader2, just for consistency. And then he's saying reload npm install. Oh, maybe it's package lock. Let's see what this says. Dev, let's see, 6,000. No. Still. From within this root, let's just do a quick cleanup of that. And then a fresh install. And we'll clean out the next cache as well. And then we'll try with the trader2. And if we don't get it this time, we'll figure it out next time because we got to wrap up soon. But this is how it is coding. Like you just hit a block and then try stuff out and see what works, and you keep going until you figure it out. So now we want to say PM2 list, PM2 delete trader, PM2 save, force, PM2 help. See what options we have available to us. Process ID flush. Yeah, I thought I saw flush somewhere. Logs flush. Oh, that's logs. Process. Like, how do I clear? OpenAI has this like freaking bug where you can't start typing right away when you focus on the tab. It's the most frustrating thing in the universe. Do I just clear out the whole PM2 list? Flush it out. Let's flush it out. PM2 reload trader. Okay, PM2 delete all. No process found. PM2 kill. Nice. To start. Next trader.yaml. So before I actually hit go on this command, let's make sure we have our port, source app, trader2, run dev, and then that matches our package JSON, which is all this stuff, and we'll say start. Okay, so then we go to localhost, 3000, not freaking working, but it will work if we say npm run dev. Okay, which works fantastically. And then let's look at the logs. npm logs trader2. Is that not it? Trader2. npm log. It's got to be one of these, right? Logs trader2. Trailing. There's no logs. Interesting. PM2 list. And then PM2 reload trader YAML. Okay. Well, let's think. What could be happening here? Obviously, it's a problem with the process manager because we can run it directly. So that can't be it. If I do run dev, but what I don't even see, I don't even see like anything in the logs. So there's like, okay, so I can run it. I can run it via npm run dev, no problem. When I use pm2 start YAML, it says it's online, but I can't access the server. Here's the logs. The logs, they're empty, right? Because it seems like the log should have like, hey, starting server. Let's see. YAML, npm run dev, npm run dev. Let's see, reload YAML. Come on, what is that? That can't be right. Your YAML does npm args. Script npm. All right, let's try this. Process could not be saved. Let's see. Oh, that worked. Okay, so it is a problem with the YAML file. This is why we don't use new tech. It's YAML. Okay, so that is kind of working. Interesting. Well, that's progress. So what the problem be? It's a problem with the package JSON or whatever. Oh, yeah, see, I bet it is YAML formatting. I bet there's some stupid freaking extra white space character that we didn't know about because of YAML. Let's see. Because nothing that simple could be like loosely formatted. It's gonna have to be every freaking character is perfectly what it should be. Reload trader 2. Okay, so let's say pm2 stop trader debug. Okay, so now the website is down. We'll reload trader 2. Doesn't work. So the YAML file freaking sucks. This is what he says it should be. The only new line is development. That looks the exact same to me, bud. That's what I call GDT, bud. Let's see, reload trader 2. It's not working. So let's try it outside. Like, okay, screw your YAML file. Give me JSON. Let's try doing this with JSON because I don't know how to use YAML. pm2 delete all. I'll run that real quick while we're waiting for that. pm2 delete all. Okay, so now nothing's running, everything's clean. I'm gonna delete this YAML file, move to trash. Yes. Take this JSON, and we'll call this reveal and finder. We'll call this file pm2 process manager. We'll just call this pm2.json for now. Run dev source app. Good. So then from within here, we say npm start, or is it load? No, start pm2 JSON, and then reload. No, just start. Nice. No, not a directory open. PM2G next build ID. So first of all, that looks like it did what we wanted. Oh, I said npm start. Okay, there's no command. npm, we wanted PM2 start. PM, that was a typo. Okay. Nope, still not working. PM2 delete all. So maybe it wasn't a problem with the YAML, maybe it's a problem with the process manager. Like, could it be that that PM2 is not running with the right permissions? It's still not launching through PM2. It's possible. No, because we got it working with this line. We got it working with the debug line. So it's like it's not finding, like, I'm pretty sure if this. I don't know. I have no idea. PM2 start, PM2 kill works, but or JSON config doesn't. That is successfully able to run the command, but not able to interpret your config file. When you specify, you're giving a direct command. Yes, exactly. Has to parse that. Yes, your package JSON looks straightforward. Is reading the converting it into that command. The CW current working directory is one of the most common pitfalls. Make sure the paths. Yes, that's what I think is happening. For example, let's try JSON configuration, source app. Script name. So let's go back and try this. Start. Reload, and then logs, PM2, logs, trader. It's still starting on 6,000. Okay, something is happening. 6,000. Where could that be coming from? That is like a cache thing, is what it looks like to me. Like, the logs show on 6,000. How can that be? That's quite perplexing. Yes, it is. That the configuration hasn't reloaded. Yes, that's what I think. Well, I already did all this. We might have to check the port in your shell. Echo port. Echo port. Maybe I have to do it from here. Echo port. Like, port is empty. Port is empty in the JSON. I mean, let's try this one more time before we quit for the day and see if this command will give us what we want. Just to make sure that we did verify that. npm run dev trader debug. So now if I go to port 3000, it is running. As you can see, it's running. So that command does work. And so we know that the process manager works. It's just not reading our config right. And like, this might be the time to turn directly to Google and just say pm2 config JSON and make sure that this guy knows what he's talking about, because sometimes he doesn't. App declaration file, listing and showing these star apps.json. Okay, listing and show processes, boom. Name blog apps.json. I kind of like this approach. Script, instances. So let's say, actually wonder if I look in my trash, maybe I have an example of this. No. Do I not? I don't. Options available. Well, it's definitely can we just not use CWD? I don't see this guy using it. Let's look at his compared to ours. Oops. This one. So we have apps, name, script, instances, exec mode, environment. Yeah, like they're not even saying CWD. Like, why do we even need CWD? What was he saying? Exec mode cluster, npm run dev, CWD. Let's say reload pm2 JSON. pm2 delete all. That's so funny. Is that working? Oh, it's the CWD. He even told us. We just had to remove it. Fucking AI. Come on, man. All right, well, that was the problem, was he just gave us the wrong config. Gave us the wrong config. Need CWD. Okay, how do I test to make sure the app can reboot itself and also turns on when the computer restarts? All right, so I think we actually did accomplish what we came here to do today. We have an app running on localhost through a process manager that will, in a second, restart it when it crashes and start it automatically when the computer restarts. Then whenever we want to interface with our dashboard, we know exactly where to go, and we can start having that be like the plan for it, like I said, is to support some of this trading stuff I've been developing. And what I really want to build with GDT next time is a central kind of like, I want to build the all-seeing eye of Sauron for my portfolios, which I manage 2, soon to be 3 portfolios. Not that I'm so great at it, I just happen to do that. And because I'm very interested and enjoy it. And for all 3 of those, I want to be able to use all of my tooling and technology to be able to gather telemetry, metrics, information, data on all the performance of my positions and how they're doing, where they've been, where they're going, but also like just my actual trading tools. I built some cool freaking tools, man. Like one of them just lets me do automatic price discovery on options, which is one of the hardest things if you're tanking and you want to buy a put. Like by the time you enter the trade, the price of the put has changed, or whatever direction. If it goes too fast, you can't enter the trade. My system automatically determines the price based off of quotes and trades and all this data. And then eventually it will place that order using really easy order forms. Like instead of saying like, I want to pay the ask or here's my bid, you just say, I want to pay market price. And then it'll automatically look at like the last trade. If it was within some kind of timestamp that makes sense, it'll start with that price. It'll do price discovery. That's a big part of trading, is like figuring out what the price should be. Anyway, so I have all these tools and stuff I want to build, and then maybe next time what we can work on is two things. We can work on getting a WebSocket going that is both a client and a server, where it's managing socket connections to external services and then rebroadcasting that data to clients that are running locally. So if I have a widget that wants to know the price of something, it doesn't call the API directly. It listens, it subscribes to the price of a given symbol or a given contract of a ticker via WebSocket. And then the WebSocket connection takes that subscription, goes and maybe it fetches it from Polygon, maybe it fetches it from FMP or Tradier or whatever. There can be multiple endpoints where it might want to get the data, but all of my local widgets, all my local clients, they don't know about that. They don't care about that. They just want the data. And so they just want like the latest quote, the last trade, that kind of stuff, the RSI, the indicators, the technicals, that kind of stuff. So the widget subscribe to the WebSocket. The WebSocket manages all the data sources and brings it all together and then rebroadcasts that for basically every unit of information possible on the platform for all portfolios. So that'll be what we build next time. Begin building. Like we'll probably talk about it, right? I actually have a pretty cool thread beginning here, I believe, where we've made some progress that I can show you guys. So this is a good example of how to prompt AI. Like you really gotta try to be specific and guess where it's going to make assumptions and then provide prompts like guidance on those specifics as much as you can. But you can always ideate and refine, which you'll see that we do. So we'll go through this and then we'll end today's session. I just realized we didn't actually complete the process restart. Chat, GDP, go, live stream coding, boom. Okay, so this is saying, apologize for the hiccup. Yeah, you should apologize. It was like 30 minutes of bullshit. But you saw how I debug. If you're new to coding, you see what it's like. If you're an advanced coder, you're probably just like we're kicking yourself that whole time, seeing what was obviously wrong. But I'm not bad, but I'm definitely way better with AI, even despite these foibles that it hoists upon us. So PM2 stop that app, PM2 logs, then observe PM2 automatically restarting. This feature set auto restart true in the config file. So let's go to the config and say apps name, and then I wonder if we can find that example on the other guy's website because he seemed to have the right idea. This guy. Auto restart, nice. So that looks like it is a valid parameter. So we'll put that back in our code. Auto restart true. True. Boom. Reload. PM2 list. And then if I come and look at this, it should say PM2 stop, PM2 logs. Okay, so if we stop it, we should see it restart automatically in the logs. PM2 logs trader. Okay, so we see it's running. And then so we'll say PM2 stop trader. Okay, then we'll go and make sure that it's running on the logs. It's hard to see if there's any change, but no, it did stop it. So now we'll say start trader, which restarts it. I feel like GDT doesn't know again. PM2 startup, run the following command. Run. So let's say PM2 startup. Copy and paste the following. I believe I already have that, but let's double check. Yeah, let's just do it as it says. Copy and paste the following command. Okay, so writing the initial config, background, item added. Yes, hell yes. Okay, so my computer just gave me an alert that that was added as a background task on a separate window that you can't see, but that's cool. So writing initial config to the launch agents. So I'll test that out online because I'd have to restart my computer. List, freeze a process list on reboot via PM2 save. Let's say force. And then PM2 list. Okay, so we have this now ostensibly will restart when we restart the computer. I still want it to auto restart when the process dies. So let's ask one more time since we've made so much progress. Like, okay, we got PM2 trader added to the launch list. How do I verify the process will reboot on crash? When I stopped via the PM2 command, it didn't restart. So I feel like we need like to cause an intentional crash. By default, should automatically restart unless you've explicitly set it to false. Okay. Well, so the app is running, right? Next app running, nice. Next app running, nice. Not that one. And so we want to say PM2 show. So let's try that. Command. PM2 show trader. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Code metrics, heap size. That's awesome. Cool. So we get, that's good to know about. So show gives us a nice status print of the active process. So now let's get the PID of this. Where would I find it? Find PID path. No, that's not it. Reload, restart. What was that command of like ISO kill? Here it is. So let's go here and get the PID of 3000. We'll change that to 6000 at some point. And well, that's funny. This is what I'm saying with like a ton of stuff uses 3000. But we want to say, I think these are the ones we want to kill actually. Let's kill all these. Kill 9, this guy. Let's see. And then, hey, I think that worked. Okay, so we see this new process. I'm pretty sure this is my process. So I'm going to kill this again. And then, hey, that's awesome. Okay, it's working. So now, as many times as I kill it, it automatically resurrects. So I can reload, and let's like say, like, can you write me a quick counter widget that just counts up from 1? And then we'll just see if it automatically reloads when I kill it via command line. So we'll get this code and then go to our actual editor and say Where is the file? Page.js. Boom. How do I actually inject that? Maybe here? I'll just say, this is my favorite thing. Like, can you make this work? Like, I don't try too hard. Let's let the AI do it. So, image, weird. Oh, it's already using image. We can clean those out. Imports. What is it? Clean up imports. Import, removed unused. Or I could have just deleted it. Either one would have worked. Okay, so now React, your importing user needs to use effect. Use effect in React. Use client. Image. Next image. Why would it be complaining about next image? I don't know React super well. I'm sure this is like a very easy thing to fix. Use effect. But I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to use GDT's code and see if that fixes it. No, it did not. All right. Well, whatever. I should be able to, like, how in React do I just like, how do I just like inject JavaScript in the page? Well, that'll be a good thing to figure out next time. Let's just say this is like, yeah, like how do I even just like do variables? Anyway, I don't know how to use the front end of Next.js intuitively enough to do it live for you guys, but we can definitely see if I make this change here, that it automatically shows up here. Now the question is, if I change this and then I say on this side, I'm not going to show you guys, I'm just going to kill the server, and then I'm going to, so I'll save this, that instantly changes. And then I'm going to get the PID of the service again, and we're going to kill it like that. Nice. And it should still be alive if I then go like this. And it is not. It is not. Well, but that's because it's not going to hot reload if I manually refresh. Okay, if I manually refresh, it's still running. It's just not hot reloading. Got it. So now the hot reload should work now that it's up. Yeah, okay, cool. So what we did today without like much prep at all is we used AI to recommend some packages and services that we don't have a ton of familiarity with to be able to build a local website on our computer that will automatically reboot if it crashes and also restart whenever the computer starts. So it's an always on service running 24/7. And we can use this as the center of our kind of like platform for this investing stuff, where we bring everything into like one central WebSocket connection. Pretty good for one day. And you can see that I didn't know exactly what I was doing. Like, it's using technologies and stuff I'm somewhat familiar with, but not very familiar. And the reason I can still make progress is because I can just always ask AI to help unblock me. And we also saw that AI isn't infallible. It makes mistakes. It can be annoyingly wrong. And so we got to like watch out for that stuff. But it's also incredibly helpful. Even with that CWD not typo, but misconfiguration it made, we were able to figure that out ourselves by doing a quick Google, and everything else we were able to get direct answers from GDT. I would say from my experience, this project probably went 2 to 5 times faster than it would have. No, it went infinitely faster because I wouldn't have known about PM2. The only reason I know about it is from GDT, from talking to AI. And it's constantly giving me new techniques and new libraries that I didn't even know existed. So like ostensibly, I'm already operating at a level that I would be unable to alone. One of my favorite things, I'll talk about this. We'll go through an example of a prompt that I think is good, and then we'll close our session for today. So one of the things that I think is going to be very true of the next 5 years is that everyone will be able to operate way above their capacity, because they're going to have this personal assistant that's basically Jarvis from Iron Man, and you're going to be able to like reason with it and ideate with it and brainstorm, and it's going to be a therapist and an accountant and a co-engineer or whatever. Like it's basically going to make it so that the ceiling of what's possible for everyone dramatically rises, and we all work at the speed of AI now. The playing field has been leveled, and the incumbents now don't have much of a better tooling advantage than the startups or whatever. And what I mean by that is like, here's something Mark Andreessen says. I don't know where he got it, but I like it. And it's very true. He's like, I can't buy a better iPhone than you. Like, I'm a fucking billionaire and we both use the same iPhone. Why? It's the best there is. Like, there isn't a better phone. If there was a better phone, I'd pay 10 grand for it and buy that one. Doesn't exist. That is how AI is. We are all going to be on the same level playing field as far as we're not going to be like just some, the general public will have as much opportunity to build and create as anyone out there. I don't know how to explain it better. Like, it's a magnet that sucks people up to the top of their potential. That's how I think of AI. And what I don't have access to anything more than you have access to is kind of the point of what I'm trying to say. So let's go through this prompt, and then that'll be good for today. So, hey, GDT, you got to talk to it like it's a person. You get better results. It's weird. It's weird that it works that way. But if you speak respectfully and clearly as if it was a person, you do get better results. I don't know why. And that's my experience so far anyway. So I want to create an active loop, kind of like the event loop in JavaScript, that monitors markets, looks at positions, trades, quotes, etc., whatever kind of jobs we need to feed it, or it creates itself from existing jobs. How can we build something like this? So like, I just tell it what I want, what I can think of, and then I ask it to help me elaborate the idea. Would it be possible to say we want to make sure a new monitor cycle runs every 300 milliseconds while the market is open and attempts to do a new job? If the job queue is empty, it does nothing. Also, the system needs a high priority job queue, which should be executed as soon as possible in the order they are given. Then from here, we extend new classes from like one with a socket connection with subscribers, which I already talked to you about. So then he's like, okay, here's how I would do it. You get the main loop, you get the job queue, you get the high priority queue, and you can extend. So he starts ideating on all that, and I say, cool, like, let's write all this into a class called Market Engine. So now he's like doing real work for me. This is like valuable engineering work that a computer is doing for me. Like, otherwise I have to type all that, right? So, and I have to think of it. And like, you'll see in a second, I think I asked him to elaborate it. Maybe you could draft some helpful. Yeah, like that's another thing is I won't even know what to ask. So I'll ask it what I should ask. In this case, I say what, other kind of like, how would an engineer want to interface with this unit of logic that we're writing, with this module? Like, what would make it easier for them? What methods, what parameters? And then he's like, yeah, we would want it to make it easy to like check the status of the market and add a job and whatever. Okay, so then now let's have it be a factory. So then he did this implementation where he's like kind of news. He creates this line, and I just didn't like it because there's only ever going to be one market engine in my design, and so I just know there's only going to be one, and so we don't need to create new ones. We just want to be able to have the instance, and then so I give him that feedback, and he goes and he changes it to this. um like, yeah, in fact, let's make it not possible new but still be extended from. So this is cool. I didn't even know this was possible, but you can actually in TypeScript make it so that people can't new your object, your class. And the reason you would want to do that is if you only want to have one instance of it created in the code at a time. And so that's pretty, or you want to have control over how it's constructed, specifically through like a static method maybe. Um, and so like I give it that feedback and it goes and it creates that code. And then I say, and you can see like it's giving me the code, I'm reading it, and then I'm giving it what I want next. And like we're elaborating on it from here. So let's have it start the jobs with an optional parameter. How can other widgets get status updates from the job? And then he says we should use an observer pattern. And then he tells me what that is. He writes the code. And then I say, maybe there's a higher abstraction there and we can just have the engine focus on doing the work. We can provide status updates in another way. Is there a native way to do this in JavaScript where we can just broadcast out the work to anyone listening? You could just see I'm ideating. I'm working back and forth. Like we're having a discussion. And then after he does all that work, I then change my mind and I'm like, okay, like screw all that. Let's just rename market engine to market flow, have it responsible for both doing the work and managing the work. So it's the manager and the executor at once. And then he goes and he writes it all out and he's like, okay, you want to extend your market flow class from an event emitter so others can subscribe directly if they have access to the object and code. Otherwise, they can make requests through the WebSocket connection. And he writes all this for me. This is functional code. This will run. This will work. And if it doesn't, I can, as you saw today, I can copy and paste the problems in and we'll debug it. So look at this. He's congratulating himself. It's quite comprehensive. It employs a singleton pattern to ensure that only one instance of market flow. So like it has incorporated all of my feedback and I didn't have to think about anything. I just told it what I wanted. And that is the superpower of AI. And so there's a lot more that I think is possible. Like I'm pretty into AI art. Like I wonder if I could show you on Discord. Let's see, Discord. You could see like today, for this show, like it's kind of a new idea. Let's see if I can go like this, window capture, image, boom. Actually, let's just do this, window capture, and go to Discord. Yes, that. Bot Discord? No? Discord, Midjourney. It's not working. We'll go back here. GDT. Discord. I just want to show you guys some of this stuff. Okay. So it's not like perfectly aligned or whatever, but this is the cover of the thumbnail. All I did was write the emergence of artificial intelligence. And so you can say, imagine, like, let's say, Jarvis AI rebuilding the like building the, let's say, the collective unconscious. I don't know what that means. Unconsciousness. I think I have a typo there. Let's not think too hard. Let's just Google it and get the right word. Boom. And then it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick what it can build. And you can ask it to do anything. Like this one, I would just want to see some like fun ideas. But what you can do with AI these days is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so I want to dive into some of the ways that I plan to automate like my workflows like this for even thumbnail design for YouTube or podcasting, live Q&As, that kind of stuff. It's just mirrors like he created an actual person. Weird. Very weird. I don't really like any of those, but whatever. So you can just say like spell check unconsciousness. So like let's just say this, the collective unconscious, and see what it comes up with. Boom. Because sometimes it's almost like the more ambiguous you are, sometimes the better it is, but it really depends on what image engine you're using. Yeah. So this will be our final image before we go. Let's see what AI can come up with. But yeah, I mean, I just liked this image, and now it's the cover of this mini series on how I've been using these working sessions with AI. Well, like I said, we'll do one on actually creating like the WebSocket connection and start integrating the data into that. But also, I think it would be fun and interesting to just like do some ideation where we just talk about like science or philosophy or whatever, because it's great at that stuff too. Okay, this is kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And so, yeah, I like that prompt. So if I get a prompt I like, then I'll create another variant. And then I do like to zoom in on the ones I like. And then of course you can say like themes of like /imagine, like the, what would say a neutron, let's just see what it says, right? I just want to see what it says, or what it creates. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, the point with generating AI, generative AI, is it gives you something to choose from, which is like the whole magic of it. Like if you don't like it, you just ask it to do it again until you get something you do like. And so, yeah, this AI is attempting to do something physicists haven't been able to do, which is visualize the neutron. And let's see if it comes up with something that actually makes sense to us. Okay, I like this top left one. Yeah, that's what a neutron looks like. Good job, AI. Good job. That's pretty fun. And I do like that you can kind of like see the progress as it's building it. If you give it more prompts, it'll come up with like, these are like very divergent, but I was looking for something like this. And so I can say, give me more like that variant. And this kind of upscaled or whatever. So that's some of the ways I use AI. I hope you guys found that useful. I'll do another one of these series in the future where we can go and explore kind of some other coding techniques. And yeah, hope you guys found that useful. Enjoy your day. See ya.